going to be doing another optical illusion project, and this is called worm art. So our worm optical illusions. So we're going to be creating different worm tubes on our drawing paper. Today we're going to need just a few materials. You're going to need a black Sharpie or marker or even a black pen, a pencil with an eraser, and a drawing board. I'm just using white copy paper. You could also use sketchbook paper, and it can be larger or smaller depending on the materials you have available to you. So today we're going to start. I'm just going to use my Sharpie marker. As always, the pencil and eraser are there if you are not comfortable drawing those lines right away. Our pencil acts as a guiding line, and we can erase in case we make a mistake. You can always go back and trace over with the Sharpie marker afterwards. But today's video, I'm going to be using my Sharpie right away. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide my paper into 3 different sections using 2 curvy lines. So I'm going to start, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm going to start by making a wavy line down one side of my paper. So imagine that your paper is divided in half, and in that half you're going to be drawing a line. And I'm going to draw another line in that same section. So I have 3 sections on my paper. Next, I'm going to draw one curvy line down the middle. So I'm going to start at one end of my paper, close to the middle, and I'm going to create waves. So that way we have 6 different sections of our paper. These 6 sections will act as our worm art optical illusions. So once you have your divided lines, and you can add maybe a few more lines if you want to divide your paper, but I wouldn't go any less than having 6 spaces. Once you have these 6 spaces, you're going to start at the base or this middle line of our paper. So I'm going to work in one section first. In this section, I'm going to start at a corner. So here we have this intersection where the lines go over top of each other. That is where I'm going to start at my base. And I am going to start at that base and create a curved line all the way to the other corner. So I'm going to connect these corners together. For my next line, as I go up, I'm going to start at this point where my new line connects with my divided paper line. So at this point, I'm going to start my marker there and draw another curved arc line, following that first line drawn all the way down to this intersection. I'm going to repeat this process starting at the connection, curving up, and meeting back down at that point. All of our arcs are going to meet together at our points. As you can see, it's giving a nice curve and illusion effect by connecting these points. We don't want to start by making them not connected. We'll still get an illusion, but it won't be as strong. So connect your points, follow the previous line, bring it back down. Connect your points, follow the line, bring it back down to connect. And I'm going to continue this process and pattern for all 6 squares, or as many different divided sections that you have. As you can see here, my original curved line was not facing the same direction. So what I'm going to do is I am going to start at my corners and draw a slight curved line right down the middle, as you can see that I did here. And then on the opposite of this line, I am going to go up, over top, and one below, doing the same process I did here, but doing one above and one below, and then doing one above and below again until I have a new arc. And then on this side, I would continue going just as I did on the top. And down here, I would do the same process from top to bottom, and it'll look like it is moving in and out all together. And remember, if you get to these points, you can start creating your own new pattern. So you don't have to follow the continuing pattern. You can, and then once you reach a point, like here, I am ready to start because I am curving into this new pattern. This will give different effects as you go on. So it'll look like it's curving this way and this way, creating more tubes than originally drawn. Once you have all of your lines drawn and traced with a Sharpie marker, you can see that we have that illusion effect, almost like little worms or tubes that are curved, giving us almost movement in the background. So there's two ways after you have this step finished. You can leave it completely blank with black and white lines, or you can go back in, give it more depth, or add some color. So there's two different options, or a few other options as well. And what you can do with a pencil is you can shade, starting at these base lines, you can shade and create value and depth with your shading. So what you would do is at that line, you would color really dark, and then as you go out towards the center, you'll gradually get lighter. So what I do to get lighter is I just slightly pick up my pencil so I'm barely touching the paper. And then when I get towards that center or that outside, I'm going to apply a lot of pressure with my pencil. So for this one, I'll show you how to do the value and what that looks like, and then we'll come back and show you a few other options for the other two tubes. So this is our pencil method. You can always use your fingers to smudge it and give it more illusion or depth. And you can do this with a pencil or a black crayon. It's a little easier to get that gradation or that value from dark to light with a pencil. So as you can see, this is one option for completing your optical illusion worm tubes. Next up, we can do color. And you can do this every other color with two different colors. And you can start, same thing if you want to, you could start darker at the corners. So since I'm doing this one, I'm going to follow along. And at the corner, I'm going to apply a lot of pressure with my pencil, just as we did in this step if you chose this option. Then as I get to the center, I'm going to pick up my pencil slightly and color really, really lightly. This will give it that light to dark effect with value. So I would repeat this process. If I did two colors, I would skip, so I'd do blue, and then I'm gonna leave mine blank, so I'm gonna skip one, leave it blank, color blue, skip one, color blue, skip one, color blue, and so on. This will give us a color illusion. Again, you can do one color with a white background, or you can choose two different colors. last option is to leave it just black and white. And if you want to, you can go back and you can add more curves to give it a more of an illusion. And that is all that I have for you today. So you could do black and white, you could do some color, or you can do gradation or value on your worm tube art.